Hey guys, how you doing? So I figure it's been a little bit of a while since I posted my last review, approximately 7 days, so I figure I'll do something a little different. This is sort of a weird channel update slash Blu-ray 4K catch-up. I got a lot of movies and also a few new developments happening with the Good Winter Productions YouTube channel, so also, I apologize for my disheveled appearance. I just got back from the gym, and yeah, that's why I look like the back seat of an Uber car. I'm so sweaty right now, and like I'm Italian, so it's a mixture of like sweat and grease. And this would not be good if like I was picked up for questioning for some random crime. Like if I was in a lineup and they were asking me like random questions, they would just see me sweating profusely, like I ate Kung Pao chicken. But anyway, let's talk about some Blu-ray 4Ks. Look at these babies. Look at this fat stack. Yeah, I also got some books. It was my birthday the other day, so I could do a review of the books, but I don't know. Do we want to talk about like Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass? You know, the book that brought down Walter White? No? Okay. First movie I'm going to talk about for the 4K collection is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Boop, right here. Now, you already saw my review. You know, it's one of my favorite movies of the year so far. And let me just say, the 4K, I was watching this the other night. I didn't see the whole, I already saw it in the movies, but I've been trying to binge watch season 2 of The Boys, so I've been trying to like split up my time. So what I was able to watch in order to glean for the review shows really good picture quality. I think that this is one of the 4Ks that you want to buy for someone to convince them to buy a 4K player. I noticed that the black levels are really well defined, and on top of that, if you look at the Blu-ray comparisons, there's honestly a huge difference. Like there's not even a comparison, honestly. So I don't really know how to review 4Ks because I already reviewed the movie, but I'll say picture quality 4.2, audio 3.5. Yeah? All right, okay. Never go against the family. Oh my god, I am so sorry. Anyway, so the Godfather 4K Restoration Trilogy. This was on my wish list for a few months now, ever since I found out they were going to release it. Already you have so many different bonus features that they packed into this thing. I can't wait to get into it. Quick history. So as stated, I am Italian, so if you haven't watched and or liked the Godfather movies, I'm pretty sure they just take your Italian card away. I've actually never seen Godfather 3, but you know what? I've been waiting. I've been waiting for the Godfather 3 coda, and I hear that they go back in and they re-edit certain things. I would prefer the character that Sofia Coppola plays to just be removed from the movie entirely, but apparently she's still in there, but I hear it's better. But this is something that I've always wanted, and if you watch the 4K restoration, you can see that it feels like you're watching it brand new. There's just a warm glow that older movies have, like movies from like the 50s and 60s on, 70s. There's just this nice nostalgic glow, and it really reminds me of a time when movies were actually made to be movies instead of just production things they churn out every month to generate content. But yeah, the Godfather 4Ks, I watched a few of these to bruise through them, 1 and 2, and the restoration is absolutely pitch perfect. Highly recommend it if you can pick it up. It's pretty good. I had to give the 4Ks themselves overall as a collection, this set, a rating. I give the collection itself a 5. Bonus features immediately boost that rating up. Quality, I'd say definitely a 4.5. And the audio is something that also I wanted to talk about. A lot of the dialogue, particularly some of the older footage, you can tell that they really went in and actually livened up some of it, so a lot of it's more clear than it was in the original Blu-ray edition. I gotta say, the Blu-ray edition is up there on my shelf, up there. You can't, yeah, boop, right there. It really sucked. That was a horrible Blu-ray, and I'm probably gonna pawn it off to my friend because he hasn't gotten the 4K, but hopefully he won't watch this. I know he never does. Audio, I would say an improvement over the Blu-ray. I would say 4.1. Next on the list, not a 4K, but a Blu-ray and a classic. I know a lot of you probably didn't click on this video to talk about this, but this is what we're gonna do. Police Squad. Leslie Nielsen, guys who made Airplane. This was a show ahead of its time. Why is the glare? He's like glowing like an angel. probably because he's been dead for 15 years. That Police Squad is a great comedy show, and it was canceled. I think there's only 6 episodes. This is the kind of show that you put on late at night after you went out with a few friends. You want to kind of turn the mood a little bit down, have a nice cup of ginger ale, and you just watch Leslie Nielsen be a fool. You know, that's what we want. I'm not going to rate the Blu-ray quality or the 4K, because I haven't watched the Blu-ray yet. It's still in the wrapper, but yeah. Bum, 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 bum. It's Batman, and he sparkles. Honestly, this steelbook's freaking awesome. I'm not going to bury the lead about it. The way it looks and presented is really cool. This is trash. And if you open it up, I have the 4K playing for reference, and you can see that's where it would go. Special features right there. A few cool featurettes too. Basically how they made the movie, the casting process and all that fun stuff. And the Blu-ray. I'll never use this. I'll probably use this as a coaster, honestly. But no, this was a really cool purchase, and I gotta say right off the bat, audio, 5. This is the reason it gets surround sound. I don't have surround sound, but it's the reason it gets surround sound. The audio is perfect, and with Michael Giacchino's score mixed with the rain sounds, mixed with the sounds of Gotham, this was a great purchase. Picture quality, I'd say about 4.1, but definitely I highly recommend picking up this steelbook. Next movie we're discussing, Blowout, the Criterion Collection, because we're fancy like that. Now, if you were to ask me, Jeff, who is the best suspense director of all time? First, I'd say, Who Are You? Get Out of My House. But the next thing I'd say is Brian De Palma, known for directing the first Mission Impossible movie, which doesn't have a lot of great action, but it absolutely builds terrific suspenseful sequences. He is a masterclass. And John Travolta, this is one of his better roles. Okay, I'm gonna come clean. I've only seen the first 20 minutes of this movie. I was watching it with my dad, and I had to go, but I was watching going, man, this is really cool. And I looked up, and this was on sale for a Cyber Monday, and I really appreciate movies like this. Good old suspense movies. Takes place in Philadelphia. Besides M. Night Shyamalan and Rocky movies, not many movies take place in the Philly region, so, you know, good to have some representation, you know? Even if it's about murder. Next, we got some 007 action on Her Majesty's Secret Service. One of the best Bond movies I've ever seen, quite frankly. Even more than the Sean Connery movies. Even though I do prefer Sean Connery as the character, I think that On Her Majesty's Secret Service does a really great job of diversifying the kind of stories they were telling. You know, he's working with criminals, not government officials. You know, he falls in love with someone who... It was played by like a really good theater actress. I mean, she isn't just a random Bond girl. She has a character, and there's a lot of development done between their relationship. The ending of this movie is the best ending of a James Bond movie ever. A lot of inspirations were actually taken from this movie for No Time to Die. And George Lazenby is a really solid James Bond. Now, you know, he kind of was filling in because Sean Connery declined to return to the role again. And immediately after this, people thought it was too dark, and then they brought Sean Connery back for Never Say Never Again. But I really like On Her Majesty's Secret Service. If you haven't seen it, give it a chance. I know some of those old Bond movies are a little bit too cheesy for their own good, but highly recommend it just for the ending. Next, we have Moulin Rouge. Sadly, not a 4K. This is one of those movies that they haven't released a 4K yet, and I was hoping with the release of the director Baz Luhrmann's latest movie, Elvis, they would get on it, but sadly, we don't live in that world. By the way, studios, release a Nightcrawler 4K. For the love of God, please. I'll donate my left kidney. But this movie is one of my favorite musicals. I just watched it for the first time about a few months ago, and Ewan McGregor, man, that guy can sing, that guy can act. He's Obi-Wan Kenobi, so that means something to me. And I do think that this is one of those better jukebox musicals that has more of the contemporary music. And I do really love the rendition of Roxanne. I also, it's funny, when I watched this, I played a drinking game with the person I was watching it with. Every time someone says love, take a shot. You're probably going to be dead 30 minutes in. This was a really good restoration, though. I do wish that I had the 4K because the set design in this movie is impeccable. Baz Luhrmann always knows how to light up the screen with like set design and all that. So I really hope the 4K comes soon. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Come what may. Huh? You saw the movie? No? Okay. Last, but certainly not least, we have the Alien 6 film collection. This was actually a double dip on my part because I already owned Alien and Aliens previously. The two movies that most people would argue are the only good ones, but I'm actually going to stand up for Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. You know, Alien 3, David Fincher's first movie, I think is an underrated masterpiece. I'll go that far. I love the atmosphere of this prison planet. I love Sigourney Weaver having to, like, basically keep on surviving this alien monster that just won't leave her alone. Resurrections is just so crazy, and you have Joss Whedon writing it, which I know is a huge negative, but bear with me. It was directed by a guy whose name escapes me. Hang on. It's not worth looking into. But this is a really good collection, and I only got this for $20 on Amazon, which was a steal, basically. Prometheus, I think, was fine. I think Quentin Tarantino summed it up best. Prometheus is a movie that is as beautiful as it is stupid. It looks great, the CGI is impeccable, set design's perfect, and there's a lot of mythology that's being added to the alien mythos. It's just some of the mythology doesn't really make any sense, and the human characters are very stupid. Alien Covenant. Less I talk about that, the better. But if you can pick this up, I think it's still available for $20 on Amazon, so highly recommend it. Highly recommended. So that about does it for the 4K collection reviews. A lot of movies I do want to take the time to watch the next few days. Again, I'm trying to finish The Boys, so I'm trying to split up my time between watching the show and then watching the movies. But I do have a few cool developments coming up for the Good Winter Productions channels. I actually have purchased a camera, a 4K camera, and I have a new computer coming in, so the videos are going to get a lot better in quality. Not that this isn't quality filmmaking and YouTube production, right? Don't answer that. That was rhetorical. So a lot of cool changes coming. My next review will be of the movie Nope, Jordan Peele's latest horror movie, coming out next Thursday. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, go with Jeff, and you're guaranteed a good win.